Hey everybody, Kristen Bellman with Huff Realty. I wanted to take just a few minutes to talk to first-time home buyers. Chances are if you're not a first-time home buyer, you know somebody who is. And so I hope this information will be helpful. I want to talk about some misconceptions. I want to talk about who first-time home buyers are. I wanted to give you some tips on how you can prepare to be a first-time home buyer. First-time home buyers are an emerging part of the buyer spectrum, and largely that's because of millennials, but also rents. The rent market is extremely competitive, and if you can find a home for rent, the chances are the rent that those landlords are asking is high, and that's making home buying more affordable than renting oftentimes. So be sure that you check with a realtor who can put you in contact with a lender who can see if maybe actually purchasing a home is going to be more affordable for you than renting. Okay, so some misconceptions that I'm hearing about. One is credit score. Many first-time home buyers are thinking that they're going to need a credit score of 640 or higher before they're going to qualify for a mortgage, and that's just not true. I'm able to put you in contact with lenders who have loan programs for people with a little less of a credit score, sometimes in the 580s, and even people who haven't had much credit history at all, meaning they have a good job, they have steady work history and steady rental history, but they just don't have steady credit history or a credit trail, meaning they don't have credit cards and have very few loans, so their credit history isn't very long, and that will affect your credit score. You can have one credit card and pay it on time all the time, and you would think that would make you have a high credit score. It doesn't. The lenders like to see credit history as well as making your payments on time. So don't necessarily count yourself out if you feel like your credit score isn't where it should be. Get in contact with me or your favorite realtor that can get you in contact with a lender and see where your credit score is and how they may be able to help you. Second misconception is down payment. Many people seem to think that you're going to have a 10% or 20% down payment for your mortgage. That's not true either. There are loan programs out there with little as 3.5% down, and even some areas of northern Kentucky that are USDA eligible, you can get into a home for 0% down. So don't let the lack of down payment prevent you from talking with someone to see what it is you could qualify for. So credit score and down payment lack of doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to be able to get a mortgage and buy a home. But if you're not quite ready to get into the home buying process just yet, there are things that you can be doing, steps you can be taking to prepare for that first step into the home market. There's things to be doing now. One is to go ahead and automate out of your paycheck a designated home fund. So every month or every paycheck, you're taking a certain percentage or a certain amount out of that paycheck and putting it into your home fund automatically. Your bank can set that up for you, and you can do that online. Secondly is to go ahead and make sure that whatever payments you do have, whether it's rent, utilities, a car payment, credit card, student loans, make sure you're making those payments on time. It's very important that you make those payments on time. If you have dings on your credit report, or you've missed a payment, or you've made late payments, those are going to show up on your credit report, which is going to affect your credit rate. So, which is going to affect your interest rate. So do make sure you're making those payments on time. If you can, make more than the minimum, and that will help your credit score, okay? Lastly is start practicing living on a budget. Owning a home is a huge responsibility, and so you don't want to fall behind in your mortgage payments, but you also don't want to be what they call house poor, meaning all of your money goes to your mortgage. So practice now living on a budget and creating a budget for yourself. What does that look like as far as a mortgage payment? What does your grocery bills look like, your utilities, your car payment, and then your spending money, so that you're practicing what it's going to be like to be a homeowner, so when you are finally a homeowner, you're not surprised by the amount of money that it goes to making those payments and still being able to do what it is that you want to do. So I hope this short video just helped a little bit, give you a few tips on what you can do to prepare for the home buying process, and kind of maybe put aside some of the misconceptions that some first-time home buyers have that may be preventing them from getting into the market. So contact me or your favorite realtor and let us just evaluate your situation and see what it is that we can do for you. Thanks. Take care.